We're now ready to sand the side of the neck and get rid of some of the deviations that have occurred during the bandsawing. What I'm going to use is this straight edge again, sand out some of the big deviations in this direction first, and then put it parallel to the fretboard and sand it in this way. The nice thing with this straight edge, it's actually got a bevel to the edge of it, so when you're coming to a point where it does want to come out, you're actually sanding a little bit of a sort of roll out to it, which is quite nice. Right, there we go. Right, we're getting quite close now, and you can just see there's little blobs of glue just sitting on the top of the edge of this cherry underneath the fretboard. So a few more strokes and that glue will start to get sanded away, and we should just get a very nice line where the ebony joins the cherry. And as you get to the stage where we meet the fretboard, you start to sand the fretboard and you start to see some black dust coming off. Now we're nearly there. Now we see the black dust coming, so we must be just getting into just landing that in there. And there we are. All done. But yeah, you actually do see there's a little gap under there. Just where the glue's probably not quite got to the edge. Well, no, it's probably a low spot on the actually the neck itself. So I mean, we were almost working to engineering tolerances here, which for wood you don't need to do, but we are. Yeah. We're now going to fill any gaps around the mother of pearl inlay with a mixture of a clear epoxy resin and some of the ebony dust. Create a little bit of dust. Okay, that'll probably do us. Before I mix it, I'm just going to dig out any dust that may have got into the holes on the around the inlay that we want to fill, so make sure they're nice and clean. So just clean those out a little bit. It's only minor defects, but things you won't really see, but it all makes it look a little bit better. So now let's get some epoxy, and I'm going to actually mix it with the edge of this blade. And the reason I've used this instead of super glue tends to go a little bit too fast for this, so you really can't work it and get a good mixture and before it's going off. And this is also, it's not too thick. Once it's mixed up, and if it's nice and warm, it'll be reasonably runny. So you can then, it will go into the holes quite nicely. Just dab it in so that's pushing it into the holes, any little gaps that are there. Just drag it over a bit just to make sure we've got a good covering, but we don't need to have too much excess glue. Okay, so we can leave that to set, and while we're leaving that to set, we can carry on with another little job. We're now going to round off the part of the body here where it just meets the neck and comes up to the fretboard, and I'm going to make a nice concave curve on this. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the straight edge to take down half of the width of that down to the level of the top of the body. So we're just working this down. Okay, that's about right. And then I can get my little round pen and just start working that in almost up to where the fretboard is. So we're just getting that down to the body at this point here. Don't want to create too much of I don't want to create a curve on the fretboard, so I've got to keep it slightly to the right, as close as I'm needing that to be, and I'm going to then use my straight edge to take this lip off. Just about perfect. It does look good that, doesn't it? Just go like right, you can see the curve from this side. So now we're going to do the other side. Same principle. Right, okay, that's done. We've now created a nice concave radius there and there. Blended it nicely into the fretboard. So we're just going to let that glue set, then we can give the fretboard a final leveling and then ready for fretting.